Hey guys, my name is Wildcard and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for subscribing. So, previewing Argentina versus South Africa, second test of the Rugby Championship 2021. And this is lots of changes happening with both teams for this match as a result of last week's interesting game, I would say. But before we get to the changes, the lineup, there's some news just came out a few hours ago regarding the Rugby Championship, okay? And this could be good news for all of you Boks fans out there, all of you South Africans out there could be cheering as a result of this news. Okay, let's see. First up, the delicate flowers at the New Zealand All Blacks have decided to pull out of the third Bledisloe Cup Test, which is the second, which also counts as the second Rugby Championship match against Australia in Perth due to the CUV. And they are just, they basically said that they don't feel safe for the players. They basically, what they're saying is that their players, they want a fixed schedule to be determined before they fly out of New Zealand. So they're not going to go anywhere until everything is set and ready to go. So they, the delicate All Blacks, have to be safe and sound before they set foot outside of their bubble. And so things are not looking good for the Rugby Championship. Things are a little bit bad. First of all, I will apologize on behalf of my failing government to the New Zealand people that you are currently suffering under because of literally faults of our failing government. And I really like to apologize for that because my government, they're definitely not going to apologize for that. But yeah, it's just the way it is. They did some genomic testing, traced it back, the outbreak in New Zealand is traced back to Australia, to Sydney. And it's a result of our failing government. And really sorry about that. But so the Springbok has released an article here that basically says that the All Blacks announced that they're not also cancelling the two matches against the Springboks next month in Dunedin and Auckland. So the two test matches for the Rugby Championship is cancelled in New Zealand. But that does not mean that actual games are cancelled. The games just have to be moved to another place for it to be contested. And for all of your Springboks fans, the Boks is proposing the championship to be played in South Africa. So, I guess that's good news for the world champions. Having home advantage. You're welcome to, having home advantage will be pretty good. So New Zealand is very strict in their quarantine. The reason that they are cancelling this is because they wanted to make sure that the players have a clear schedule of where they're going before they set off, because as apparently they are unable to return home until like November 23rd. Once they set off, they're not allowed to return home. So it's a little bit rough for them, but still, you're rugby players, you get paid millions of dollars. There's people a lot worse off than you are, and also, I'm not even gonna get into the physical fitness. I don't really get into anything else about the issue. And a lot of the Wallabies players has been away for basically for like a year and a half now. They have not been able to see their family for 15 months. Have not been able to see their families. So everybody's in the same boat. But the All Blacks, delicate flowers, got to make sure that everybody's safe, is ready to go before we can fly out. But yeah, so they are having a whinge about that. So this also talks that the Rugby Championship could be moved to Queensland. So we'll see. We'll see how the schedule turns out. But at the moment, the Bledisloe Cup Game 3 is cancelled next week. Thank God for me. I really didn't want to see that again anytime soon. But that's cancelled. And potentially we could see the All Blacks play the Springboks in South Africa. Anyway, so let's have a look at the previews of the team. So last week, there was a very clinical game that has been played between the South Africans and the Argentinians. South Africa did a lot of kicking, a lot of high balls, put a lot of pressure on the Argentinian team. And really, Argentina couldn't go forward in any aspect of the game. They didn't have any advantage in kicking, didn't have any advantage in scrums, didn't have the Springboks defense was so good that the Argentinians weren't able to go forward when they were attacking. It was pretty desperate game for Argentina. And also last week has resulted in basically the Springboks testing out the 50-22 rule a little bit. There was probably more kicking. There was probably like a world record of kicking involved for the South Africans. It was 46 kicks from hand. And Argentina was just really got under the pump for quite a safe win for the Springboks. And the Springboks announced their team on Tuesday. And they're pretty much the whole team's been shuffled up with 11 new players being reintroduced into the squad. So the biggest changes to the backline, the Springboks basically brought on their entire A-team. This is the backline that played against the British Irish Lions, the starting backline for British Irish Lions. This is the superpower backline for the Springboks. And also, the Springboks brought back the finishing front rowers as well, with Franz Malherbe, Steven Kitsov, and Bungi Bunabi, the A squad, the premier front row on the bench as well. Basically they have just brought on a lot of their biggest strength of their team is back into the squad after taking a week off last week. And they're also running the bomb squad with 6 forward reserves with 2 back reserves in the back line. And whilst Argentina was struggling last week, it is starting to look like Argentina's going to have an even bigger trouble winning this week, facing a much, much, much stronger team from the Springboks. So like I was mentioning, the Springboks announced the team on Tuesday. South Africa, the Pumas had a couple of days to kind of figure out what they want to do. And they've decided to kind of run the bench a little bit, I would say. So they've brought up some of the bench players in the starting position from last week, and they've brought up one of the biggest changes that's in the news everywhere is that they put Sanchez on the bench and they brought up Domingo Miotti at the number 10 spot. So it almost looks like the Pumas just kind of we're just going to give some of these younger players some experience. Miotti, he plays for the Western Force. I watched him play all season this year. He is pretty good with running game, but his kicking is not nearly world class. His penalty rate is probably 60% in Super Rugby. So definitely not good enough to play the penalty points game against the Springboks. And I don't think his running game is sufficient enough to put the Argentinians up against this Springbok backline. He's really not going to go anywhere with his game. In fact, I probably see him throw intercept pass here and there. Yeah, so not looking good for the Pumas. Let's have a look at the full lineup and see all the changes are. So first up, the front rowers has been unchanged for the Pumas. Nahul Chaparro starts at number 1 with 55 caps, 188 centimeters, 121 kilograms. He's up against a new addition from Thomas du Toit of the South Africans from the Sharks team. 12 caps, 190 centimeters, 136 kilograms. An absolute beast of a man at the tight head position. He's been called into the squad, I think after after Oxnish got injured. Oxnish is actually taking a break again this week. He had a run last week, so he's actually a big boy at the number 3 spot. Number 2 position for the Argentinians, Julian Montoya, the captain, 56 caps, 183 centimeters, 113 kilograms. He's up against Malcolm Marks coming off on the bench last week. He did a really stellar job last week off the bench. 38 caps, 114 kilograms, 189 centimeters. His line-out throw is really, really good. His set-piece work is quite spectacular as well. And on the tight head position for the Pumas, Francisco Gomez Cordella, 12 caps, 184 centimeters, 120 kilos. And he's up against Trevor Nayake coming off the bench from number 17 position from last week. 49 caps, 121 kilograms, 178 centimeters tall. So this is pretty much the bench from last week, except for Thomas Dutoit over Oxenish, up against the same front rowers from Argentina's starting team. In the back row position, the biggest change is, Marvin Ori is up for Ibn Itzbeth. He's taking a break. He's had a very, very tough performance throughout the Lions Test series, so he's earned himself a bit of a break this game. Marvin Ori was on the bench. He came on the bench last week. Did quite well coming off the bench. He has 5 caps for Springboks, 198 centimeters, 110 kilograms. Also coming off the bench from the number 20 spot, Matias Alamano, 64 caps, 199 centimeters, 117 kilograms for the Pumas. And also at number 5 position coming off the bench, Thomas Lavanini, 54 caps, 2 meters and 1 centimeter tall, 130 kilograms. That is such a huge guy for a second rower. Like, your prop's going to be doing a lot of work lifting you all day. Luke Diega retains the number 5 position for the Springboks just to make sure that the lineout is still steady. He will be the go-to, receiver for the lineouts, the safe option. 49 caps, 125 kilos, 2 meters and 6 centimeters tall. At the number 6 spot, Pablo Materes at 63 caps, 193 centimeters, 111 kilograms. And he's up against Franco Mostert in the blindside position for the Springboks at number 7 jersey. 83 caps, 112 kilograms, 2 meters tall. Franco Mostert, he's also a option in the lineout, so he's technically a second rower. He's up against Guido Petty, who's also moved from a second row position to a open side flanker position. So both teams are playing 3 second rowers technically. So this seems to be a strategy that Springboks started, and a lot of teams are trying to imitate nowadays, with the All Blacks actually trying this in the Rugby World Cup, which resulted in them being eliminated by England with Scott Barrett in blindside flanker. But yeah, so Argentina is also trying the same thing. Guido Petty is 56 caps, 193 centimeters, 112 kilograms. He's up against Sia Kolisi, the captain for the Springboks, 55 caps, 105 kilograms, 188 centimeters. Kolisi does not get a break. He will be playing every single game, looks like. He's the rock and foundation of the Springboks. At number 8 spot, Rodrigo Bruni, 4 test caps, 188 centimeters, 110 kilograms. He's up against Jasper Visa. He's 4 caps, 190 centimeters, 110 kilograms. He's actually starting to get better and better every time I watch him, despite that he only debuted in the Lions Test series, and he's just getting better and better. He's kind of like solidified himself at the number 8 spot at the moment, I guess, until Vermeulen gets back from injury. So Jasper Visa, quite impressive, being able to secure that number 8 jersey once again in the Springboks starting lineup. At number 9 position for the Pumas, coming off the bench for the number 21 jersey, Gonzalez Bertanu. He's 27 caps, 174 centimeters, 72 kilograms. He's up against Kobus Reinach, 17 test caps, 40 points, 175 centimeters, 84 kilograms. Number 10 jersey position, biggest change for the Pumas. Domingo Miotti is off the bench from number 22 jersey. He's got 5 test caps, 188 centimeters, 85 kilograms. If Miotti wants to be the next big superstar for the number 10 jersey, he has a lot of work to do, especially with his kicking. He's up against probably the best number 10 in the world at the moment, Handré Pollard. He had a break last week, 189 centimeters, 101 kilograms, 52 caps, and 500 test points. Number 11 jersey, Santiago for Carreras for the Pumas. He's moved from fullback position to open side winger. He has 12 test caps, 183 centimeters, 85 kilos. He played a really, really good game last week at a fullback position, and he was under a tremendous amount of pressure because there was so many high balls constantly bombarding him. Maybe they wanted to give him a bit of break. Maybe they want to test him out. They want to give someone else a bit of a go at a fullback position. But yeah, last week was a really, 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 really difficult game for Carreras, and he did handle himself quite well despite the insurmountable amount of pressure that was applied to him. At number 11 jersey, the superstar Makazole Mapimpi is back, 184 centimeters, 91 kilograms, 17 test caps, and 75 points for the Springboks. Number 12 jersey in inside center, 51 caps, 185 centimeters, 88 kilograms, and 40 test points is Jeromino de la Fuente. He retains the number 12 jersey for the Pumas. Damien Delende comes in at number 12 for the Springboks, 50 test caps, 105 kilograms, 191 centimeters, and 30 points for the Springboks. In the outside center position, Santiago Chocobares, 3 test caps, 188 centimeters, 97 kilograms. He's up against a much tougher outside center this week in the form of Lukamyo 18 test caps, 98 kilograms, 186 centimeters, and 20 test caps, 20 test points. Stepping in at the blindside winger position is a new player for the Pumas team as debutant. He is Ignacio Mendy. He has 187 centimeters tall. He's 81 kilograms. He actually played for the Olympics in the Tokyo Olympics just a few weeks ago, and they got bronze for the Tokyo 7. So we'll be very excited to see how he plays. And he looks like he looks like Tony Stark for some reason in his photo with the beard. But yeah, this guy will be very excited to see how he handles a big game under the pressure. But number 14, Olympic bronze medalist, very interesting to see how he's going to go. He's up against the Superman himself, Cheslin Kobe, the most exciting player in World Rugby today. And one of the just like a man that defies science, defies physics, just like an absolute ball of energy. 17 test caps, 45 test points, 171 centimeters, only 80 kilograms, and he is just an absolute menace on the field. He's most likely the person to score a try this game, and despite the fact that he's only 171 centimeters, he tends to get a lot of the high balls for the Springboks. So yeah, really just defies logic and science, essentially. Cheslin Kobe. Someone please double check that he's not a cyborg. Anyway, and at number 15 fullback position, Juan Cruz Malia is in for Santiago Carreras. He's again going to be under a lot of pressure this game for a lot of high balls. We'll see how he handles it. He has 9 test caps, 182 centimeters, and 92 kilograms. And he's up against the veteran Willie LaRue at 65 test caps, 60 points, 186 centimeters, and 90 kilos. So the Springboks backline is their full starting backline against the British and Irish Lions. We shall see. In the substitutions, in the front row position, we have Frankundo Bosch at number 16 jersey, 9 test caps, 180 centimeters, 100 kilograms. And Bongi Bonabi is in for the hooker position for the Springboks. Let's just go through this a little bit quicker. We have Frankundo Gugetna coming in at number 17 position, the tight head position, I believe, for the Pumas. Maybe he's a loose head, and he's up against Stephen Kittoff. Many people to believe that he's the best loose forward in the world. So this is going to be a really tough spot for the Pumas reserve front rowers. So this could basically end the game for the Springboks when these front rowers come on the field. Santiago Medrano, the third prop for the Pumas, and Franz Malherbe at number 18 position, widely considered one of the best tight head props in the world. His form has been a little bit off in recent times. He had a bit of a struggle in the British and Irish Lions game. But he is still, one of the best props, tight head props in the world at the moment. So this could just be the finish of the game where these front rows come on and just dominate, penalties all day, and big scrums, big line out mauls, and just taking the Argentinian forwards for a ride, basically. Not to mention the Springboks is also running the bomb squad, so they're definitely going to try and outgun the Argentinians in the front, in the forwards in the second half. At number 19 position, Marco Kramer is dropped to the bench. Maybe they wanted to stabilize the bench a little bit with the Springboks bomb squad on the bench. And yeah, Kramer is widely considered one of the most aggressive players for the Pumas, and he's like a leadership role in terms of like his work rate and just like aggression and leading the pack. Nicholas Jans van Rensburg. Nicholas Jan Rensburg. He's potentially making a debut for the Springboks. He had a game for the Springbok A team against the Lions, which they won, so he's not that bad. 2 meters tall, 115 kilograms. He's ready to come off the bench. Number 20 position for the Pumas, Juan Martin Gonzalez. He's only had one test cap for the Springboks, so he will be coming back to the team. He's against Quagga Smith, and he's 11 test caps, 95 kilos, 180 centimeters. He's also a former sevens player for the Springboks, has a lot of experience with the sevens team, despite he's only had 11 caps for the Springboks. But he's quite the workhorse coming off the bench. A very, very strong impact player as a finisher for the Springboks. At the number 21 position, Felipe Izukura for the Argentinas. And for the South Africa, Daniel Dupreez is at the number 21 jersey again this week from last week. Number 22 position. This is the number 10, starting number 10 normally for the Argentinians, Nicolas Sanchez. Maybe they want to give him a break. Not too sure. Maybe they just, I'm not too sure. His last week performance wasn't that bad. His kicking was 100%. But yeah, I think this is just where Argentina is saying, hey, we want to give our younger players a bit more experience up against the superstars of the Springboks and give them and see how they go. And give the older players a little bit of a break. Almost like they've surrendered the match a little bit. He's up against Jaden elbow to the face Hendricks. One cap, he debuted last week coming off the bench, and because Herschel Yanchis was injured just before the game, so he came off the bench. First time he touched the ball, he scored a try. So not a bad debut. And Jaden Yanchis, he's infamously known to be red carded for elbowing one of the. I think he elbowed Liam Williams from the Lions team a few weeks ago when they played the Sharks. But yeah, he's getting the second opportunity to play for the Springboks. Finally, at number 23 position, we have Lucio Sinti Lutna for the Pumas. He also played in the Olympics a few weeks ago, earning the bronze medal for Argentina. He already had one cap from what I can find. And it will be impactful to see how he come off the bench. Damien Valencia, once again, back to the number 23 jersey as the box finisher coming off the bench. Valencia had a really, really tough game last week with the high ball kicking game. All game, he was just under the high ball, constantly pressure, constantly catching, constantly kicking. He had a lot of work done last week. And I think he will probably be a little bit grateful this week to be on the bench and not have to deal with so many high balls in the starting spot. And so that's the full lineup, guys. Let me know what you think about the changes to the teams. Let me know what you think about the news. South Africa could potentially be hosting the All Blacks. Are you happy about that? And also, let me know your prediction for the results. It does look like Argentina kind of like just is throwing away this game a little bit and just trying to give their younger players a bit more experience. And Springboks is really going to do a big number this game. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, guys. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I do read all the comments. And I'll see you guys a bit later this week for the game review for this game. And thanks for watching, and cheers.